Hi folks, this is George Jefferson, and this is type 1 and type 2 errors that will definitely be on the AP test. Okay, type 1 error is when we reject HO by accepting HA when in fact HO is true. That's called a type 1 error. Type 2 error is when we accept HO and reject HA when HA is true. Okay, real simple. You just got to know which one's which. So this figure is coming up right here. So it's just a picture that shows you, type 1, type 2. So if we reject HO when HO is true, then it's type 1 error. If we reject HO when HA is true, then that was a correct decision. If we accept HO when HO is true, that's correct. And if we accept HO when HA is true, then that's a type 2 error. Don't ask me why they make up these. They just do, you guys. And you just got to know them and move on. You just got to know what's a type 1 or type 2. So here's an example to help explain this. So if we accept a bad batch of tomatoes, it will upset the customers and hurt your business. If we reject a good batch, it can hurt the company. So note, it depends on which you set up for HO and HA to tell whether it's type 1 or type 2. Okay, so here we go. If HO is true, our decision is either correct if we accept it or type 1 error. If HA is true, our decision is either correct or we reject it, and that would be a type 2 error. Okay, so are these chips too salty? And I'm just going to go real quick through this example 10.21 on page 596. The mean salt content of a certain type of potato chip is supposed to be 2.0 milligrams. The salt content of these chips varies normally with standard deviation of 0.1 milligrams. From each batch produced, an inspector takes a sample of 50 chips and measures the salt content of each chip. The inspector rejects the entire batch if the sample mean salt content is significantly different from 2 milligrams at the 5% significant level. Okay, so our test of hypotheses would be it's equal to 2, and then they just want to know if it's not equal to, so that would be the alternative hypotheses. Okay, so type 1 error is to reject HO when in fact it is true. Okay, so you'd get a less than 5% and you'd end up rejecting HO, but in fact it was true. Okay, so what about type 2 error? Well, because there's many values of your population mean in HA, we'll concentrate on just one value. So the potato chip company decides that any batch with a mean salt content as far away from 2 as 2.5 should be rejected. Okay, so a particular type 2 error is to accept HO when in fact that mean is 2.5. Okay, so when the population mean is 2, HO is true, and to reject it is type 1 error. When it's 2.05 and HA is true, and to accept HO, then that's going to be a type 2 error.